is brought to you by
APQS, handcrafted quilting machines. Aurifil. Aurifil Italian thread, perfectly suited for all your quilting projects. Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Guidelines for quilting. Prepare for perfect piecing. Moda. Make something quilty with Moda fabrics. Quiltology, the urban quilt space. So new, so exciting, so Red Rooster. Rowan Fabrics, timeless and sophisticated. Hey, welcome to Quilty. Hey, little sister.
Hey, big sister.
How's it going? Want to do some sewing today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet. I'm glad I invited you over to my sewing studio so we could sew.
Awesome.
Gosh, what? Oh, it's my candle. I was smelling that really nice smelling
yeah.
candle.
I love this long scarf that you have.
Yeah,
it's really
I don't
cool.
think. Should I move that candle? Like,
whatever.
Should I even have a candle at my sewing center?
It's up to you. I mean, right?
I like it. Maybe I'll put it on my sewing machine.
That's good. Like right on
That's
top.
a good idea.
That's really smart.
If you want some snacks, help yourself.
Cool.
I've got cheese and
Yeah.
chips, and just like we're gonna wash the fabric anyway. So if like you get Cheeto dust on it, it's no big deal. I mean,
Cool.
it's fabric, right? It's gonna go into the washing machine.
Right.
Totally have tons of scraps. Like pick whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you see my thread, my awesome Aurifil thread, will you just let me know because I can't find it anywhere.
You were looking for that the other day. That's right.
Was. And you're gonna need your rotary cutter.
That's cool.
Whoa, blade open.
Whoa.
Careful.
Thanks, Mary.
Was that your Gatorade?
Oh,
Snap.
I'm gonna be so thirsty later.
Totally spilled.
It's okay. I mean,
Right.
It's fine if it's like the fabric's wet. You can use it, right?
Exactly. Maybe a
Right.
little sticky. Who
Oh,
cares?
it's okay. That's cool. That's cool.
And you know what? We're going to get a lot done this weekend. We're going to sew all weekend.
Yeah.
Just throw this stuff over there. We're going to clear a space on the cutting mat. And I'm going to finish that quilt. I'm going to finish that one. You know the one, the Cracker Jack one?
Oh yeah. You were looking for like a block.
Oh,
or
yeah. I was like
something?
missing one block. If you see it, look around actually on the floor.
Would it be like over on the shelf?
It
or
might be.
something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey, look, a honey packet.
Oh, cool.
Yum. Awesome.
Quilting's so much fun.
It is. Who were those girls?
I don't know. Those were the don't girls.
The don't girls.
Yes.
The what not to do. So this sewing center looks a lot nicer.
It looks lovely.
Yes. So let's talk about we want to talk about why this is a better place to do some patchwork than that other crazy wackadoo
Yes.
place.
Well, and a safer place.
And a safer
too.
place. First of all, let's just go through these things. When you're sewing, you're leaning over a lot. You're cutting, you're doing stuff at the sewing machine, you're slicing through fabric. Clothes that are like drapey or hangy, even sleeves that are too long, it's not that you're going to whack through your scarf with your rotary cutter. You might. But you also are just like, it's in the way.
It's in the way.
It seems like such a simple thing, but, roll up your
You
sleeves.
can start sewing your scarf under your patchwork, and then
I'm
yikes.
sure that it's happened, right? So give me one of your tips.
Oh, okay. So one thing that I always remember from sewing stations is there's a lot of cords because you have an iron and a sewing machine, and they are at your feet, and that's a little bit dangerous. So one thing you can do is just take zip ties, which you can get at any hardware store, and just zip tie those together. It's really easy. If you ever want to change things, you just cut through them with scissors.
Cord management.
A little safer.
Nobody wants to trip.
Yeah.
Another thing that we've done, you don't have to spend a lot of money to organize your sewing space. In the berserker quilty world, we had like a rotary cutter that was open, but also just laying around. And I got these. I drink a lot of tea, and so I used tea canisters to put my notions in. My scissors and my rotary cutters always closed. That's a really easy way to start organizing things. This is a little box. I forget what came in here, a scarf or something. And I keep some bobbins in there.
That's because those are so small too. They're so easy to lose, especially if you have like yards of fabric that you're working with.
Speaking of small things that are easily lost and not good, tell me about your
pin cushions. Pins are everywhere when you're sewing.
Yes.
And I have so many times picked this up on the set of Quilty and stabbed myself with it with the pins. So always make sure you know where this is and just be cautious of it. Put all your pins in there. Be cautious of it. Have it in a spot where you know it is and you can find it easily.
Right. And if some of this sounds like, well, okay, who really does things like that? I mean, I have a few pin cushions in my sewing center, and I'm a 3 pin cushion sewer because I have one at the iron and at the sewing machine and like at
in your kitchen or something.
Well, it's like at the design wall to like pin.
Yeah.
But use your pin cushion. Like don't one pin in the bottom of your foot, right?
Yes.
Is gonna make you
And you
really
could,
sad.
if you don't have a pin cushion nearby, you could be like, oh, I'll just set it down, and then you're cleaning up and you stab yourself or something. So it's a safety a safety do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so then moving right along, you make your beautiful quilt blocks, and then in the other world I couldn't find it. Right.
It's on my back.
Show me what that is, and that's
this is
a pretty cool product.
Yeah, so this is this block box, and you can just put all of these when you finish something and it's so beautiful. You can put it in there, and then you have it almost like a little suitcase for your blocks.
It's true. It's a nice collapsible box, and you can keep quilt blocks in there. It's big enough to keep many of them, and it's just a nice thing to have. You can also use, a cardboard, like a pizza box or something. But there are products out there to help you get organized.
Absolutely.
Get and stay organized. Okay, talk to me about the ruler.
Well, you should really always keep your rulers together. Again, you don't have to, but that really promotes the ruler being longer, like shelf life, actually, because you have them all together in one spot, you're not losing it, and you're treating them nice.
You also know where to find it. Yes. So, for example, you can just find a place in your sewing studio where you're going to put your rulers, and we're going to have Tidiness hold the rulers right now. Some quilters have like a filing system for their rulers, and that's really good. Yeah. But you can't step on a ruler and completely break it in one step.
And they're not cheap, so it's nice to have a ruler that you can have for a long time.
Here's another thing. I've got this little box, good sturdy little cardboard box. You don't have to have a special tub or spend a fortune on some kind of organization system. You can just use like stuff you have to organize your notions and keep everything tidy. And you can open this up, put it by your sewing center, and there by your sewing machine, and there you have everything. Right. We kept this clear because when your cutting mat is full of stuff, it's not very inspiring. You're not inspired to make stuff if you're just dealing with scraps everywhere. So show me that scrap bag.
This is like heavy lifting.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of beautiful scraps. It's
great.
This inspires me when they're all in there and I can paw through and be like, wow, like these scraps need to be a string quilt, or they need to be, but when they're all strewn over everywhere, it's just not.
It's kind of overwhelming. It's like a dirty room. You're just like, where do I even start?
Exactly. And speaking of fabric maintenance, when you have say a half square triangle unit and you're going to clip off your little dog ear, you got to clip off that little thing. I like to take a bag, just any old shopping bag or a paper bag, and this will be hard to see on our side of things, but you just put a piece of tape on there and attach it to the side of your table. And then when you're trimming off your dog ears, which you really need to be doing all the time if you're making half square triangles, just do it right over the bag, and it falls into that little place, and then you don't have all those dog ears everywhere
or all over your sweater.
Right. And it's a nice way to keep things tidy, because if you have to clean up every time you sew, you might be less inclined to sew.
Yeah, it's kind of not as fun.
Ironing board, ironing area. Always make sure if you know your iron's on, that it's on.
It's in that spot.
Unplug it when it's not in use. These things. And the last tip that we have for keeping your sewing studio tidy, or your sewing area, is about food and beverages.
Yeah, absolutely. In the don't scenario, we had some drinks and some cheese kind of laying around, some Cheetos, delicious.
Ridiculous.
But I mean, all you really need to do is put your juice or your water in a bottle with a top on it, and then that way you're not going to ruin any fabric or get things sticky. You don't want to get your sewing machine sticky.
I've spilled coffee on my table where I was cutting.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
It's really bad. So by all means, have your space be something that you enjoy, and have drinks nearby if you need it, but just have it closed, and then that way you won't have any of those spills that can kind of ruin your day.
Exactly. And your project.
Yes.
So thanks for watching Quilty. We hope you enjoyed our little comedy sketch with the don'ts.
That was fun.
And keep your space tidy, and let us know what you're doing. Send pictures of your quilts to us. You can drop us a line on Facebook or Twitter, or send an email to mary@qnntv.com. Visit Hey Quilty for more. Thanks.
Quilty is brought to you by APQS, handcrafted quilting machines. Aurifil Italian thread, perfectly suited for all your quilting projects. Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Guidelines for quilting, prepare for perfect piecing. Moda, make something quilty with Moda fabrics. Quiltology, the urban quilt space.
So new, so exciting, so Red Rooster. Rowan Fabrics, timeless and sophisticated.